Guys, I want you to hear me out for just a second. This is not a rant. This is not a bad thing. It's a genuine concern about our roads and the safety. I want to talk about roads and safety because I'm on the road right now, and the craziness, the madness and stupidity that I'm seeing on our roadways is unbelievable and very disappointing. So, good people, family, I just want to talk about our driving on our roads. We know the shape of our roads. You know, most of them are still not in good shape. They are old roads. They have not been rehabilitated. But we do definitely have better roads, rehabilitated roads that are really decent for our road safety. But our behavior on these roads though leaves a lot to be desired. What we've been seeing with Papa is we've been driving along these roads is really bad, to say the least, in terms of the motorists' behavior. Let's separate the two things for a split second. The road condition itself and the behavior of the motorists. What we've been observing as we are driving along this road, this is Harare Mutare Road, is appalling, to say the least. And it has nothing to do with the road, because some of the sections of the roads that we are passing are really good. But the behavior of the motorists is appalling, to say the least. Very disappointing for people who pride themselves in being the best of the best, you know, very educated, very polished. The behavior that we are seeing on the road is far from it. It is far from a behavior that is displayed by people with discipline, the people with common sense. You know, I've had trouble with my camera gear, so I wasn't able to film some of the things that I've been seeing happening on the road. But folks, we have seen behaviors such as somebody overtaking on a blind rise where there's a gonyeti or 18-wheeler in front of them, maybe one or two, that they are trying in something like this. An 18-wheeler that they are trying to overtake, folks, on a blind uphill. And then somebody littering. Somebody just threw a bottle or a can out of their window, folks. Behaviors of some people that claim to be the elite, to be more educated and more dignified. What we're seeing is far from it, guys. Zimbabweans, look at this overtaking. In oncoming traffic, there's a railroad track with, I think it's just a slow area where there's a pedestrian crossing, a zebra crossing, and somebody is speeding to overtake. What type of behavior is that? Huh? And the person is overtaking to stop. Imagine that. Come on, guys. Come on. Yes, we want to blame it on the condition of the roads. I agree. Some of these roads are really way late for their rehabilitation. But our minds and behaviors are also way overdue for behavior modification. What do you think, Papa, of what you're seeing on the road as you're driving?
Like that. So yeah, like this road we're on right now, from Mutare to Harare, the road is perfect. There are no spots where you can say the road has got potholes or it's well. The markings on the roads are very clear, and yet we continue to drive like we are driving in an unmarked road, and the overtaking, especially when you know you can't see what's ahead of you, And these roads have become really congested, especially with heavy trucks coming from Mutare with logs and logs of timber. So people have to be careful, but you're not seeing that. People are really reckless. You know, this morning we saw a lot of crazy driving. We had to slam our brakes so that the person who was overtaking us
Find
space and not run into a bus. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, like Papa was saying, some of the decisions that the motorists are making. If you look at what's happening in front, I'm not sure whether the bus has space to go back, but there's a smaller car squeezing itself in front of the bus, which means maybe there's oncoming traffic. But whatever the situation is, our roads are not adequate. Yeah, there's oncoming traffic, so everybody is forcing themselves in between other cars. There are two heavy trucks, I think, and the bus and the smaller car that we're overtaking have had to squeeze themselves so that they are not in the pathway of the oncoming traffic. There was a position where we saw a small car, I think it was a Honda Fit, which almost went into the bush. Not because this driver was wrong, no. He was avoiding a fool that was overtaking on a blind uphill and squeezed himself in the road and forced this small Honda Fit to get off the road. The guy with the smaller Honda Fit was not driving carelessly, but the guy with the big SUV, maybe he's trying to show off the strength of his car. He squeezed this small Honda Fit off the road. And it wasn't shika, by the way. It appeared as if it was just two people in the car, husband and wife, going about their own business, driving. And then they get to meet this fool. Look, it's very disappointing, guys. I just want to talk about this so that we really consider the safety, not only of oneself, but the other people that are sharing the road with you. It's not about you driving and overtaking and going your place. It's all of us wanting to get to our final destinations safely. And there are signs that tell you drive to arrive and drive safely, and all those signs that tell us it's a blind spot, it's an accident prone area, but you still see people cruising and overtaking, and the speeds at which they are cruising on some of these sections of the road that are bad is just uncalled for. It's not necessary. So for me, it is not about condemning the roads only, but it is condemning us as the motorists. We know our roads are bad, but the excessive speeds that we use on these roads that are becoming inadequate because of the volume of traffic, it is appalling, guys. I couldn't say it any better, that we are carelessly putting ourselves in danger because of how we drive. It's not necessarily true that the road is full of potholes and this is why we have danger. It is how we drive, folks. It is how we drive. Right now, these two are overtaking, and I think there's a bridge. And there's a third guy. Look at that. And we have a bridge, I think, up front. What is the point? What is the point? And that someone is still overtaking. Guys, let's not talk about the bad roads. Let's talk about our bad behaviors on the road. Let's point the finger towards ourselves and accept and admit our stupidity. That some of the things that I'm seeing on the road are even qualified drivers do the same mess. It's not only the people that have bought their licenses, and I'm not sure, I can't prove it this way or that way. There's a lot more motorists on the road. There are people desperate to drive. So yes, I don't doubt that people have gone that route. But I also don't believe that it is all those motorists that have not had good training or adequate training that are doing all this nonsense on the road. It is those people who claim to have better sense Yeah? Then you see somebody overtaking on this blind spot, on this bend on the road. What is the idea? Are you thinking of your safety? Are you thinking of safety of others? Or you're just selfishly trying to prove a point that your car is fast, it can drive fast? What is the point? We all want these roads to be improved, but there is no way that we can have all these roads fixed overnight. It's gonna take a while. And for sure, there are some roads that have been rehabilitated, or there are some new roads that are being created. Of the old roads, there is plenty that need rehabilitation. Plenty of them. And we cannot expect to have these roads done overnight. I hope that we continue to see gradual improvement in our roads. But while we demand or expect that to happen, when are we going to have a change of mindset in the way we behave on the roads? When are we going to be disciplined so that you don't overtake where it's not safe? When are we going to behave like adults, like the reasonable people that we claim to be? When are we going to do that? We want to blame it on the roads. We want to blame it on the roadblocks. We want to blame it on... But when are we going to take ownership of our own responsibility on our behavior on these inadequate roads is my question. Drive to arrive. Speeding and overtaking unsafely is not going to get you to your final destination. It might actually be a carnage on the road, a complete disaster of car upon car piling up unnecessarily because of stupidity. I'm going to emphasize most of the stupid behavior that I'm seeing is not necessary. Trust me, it is not. Here we see the tree branches. These are supposed to be triangles.
Warning people that
that there is a breakdown. Now, here's a good example of what I'm going to show you. So there is a broken down car. It's at a bend and on a rise, on a blind rise. And right there in front of us is a bus.
And we can never
tell which way. Yeah, I think this is better because the blind is so dangerous. So we've had to go off the road a little bit because it's a blind rise and the car is broken down. And there is no reason why somebody should pass this bend at full speed. No, you take all the caution, all the necessary precaution so that we are safe. And the motorist who has, you see these branches here indicate there is something broken or something that was there overnight.
Those trucks should not put branches on the road. I think the sad thing is that when they fix their cars, they leave the branches on the road.
Yes.
So yeah.
When they are done fixing the car, though, none of these people who have put those branches go and clean up. So there is also obstruction of the road because of these tree branches. I'm not sure whether it's in the highway code that people put tree branches as a warning sign. I'm not sure if that is visible at night. Hey, guys. Hey. I'm not advocating for us to be harassed by the police for triangles, but I think it is standard that every vehicle should have a triangle which is reflective, which should be placed not behind the wheel that is of the car that is broken, but within a good distance. But it should be within a reasonable braking distance so that you are giving enough time for the car or cars coming that there is some obstruction of the road ahead. Guys, I'm talking about the roads here. Hear me out. Let's share the comments and please let's be civil. I saw someone overtaking on a blind rise and there's a bus coming. And there's this gonyeti that is in front of us. How do you expect to clear off? Look at that one. This small car was trying to overtake in the middle of this gonyeti and these cars coming. Come on, guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? Guys, mazimbo ngatirege kudaro naika, ngatirege kudaro. We want us to be safe. We want to get home to our families. We want to go back to work. Let's do the right thing, guys. Let's not expect someone to do it. And be the change that you want to see. Change starts with you. Change your mindset. Change your behavior. Change the way you assign guilt and responsibility. Take your position and your part in that greatness, in that goodness. If you're going to continue to drive like a fool and recklessly, who is supposed to change? Me?
Here comes the bus. There's a blind spot. He's gonna pass.
Yeah, there's a blind spot here and there's a bus. Watch out. Look. This bus, look, this is a blind rise and he is struggling to go up the hill. That bus right there. And there's an oncoming car right there, if you can see. And there's another idiot who's going to be right in front. Look at that. Did you see that, guys? Did you see that, folks? That's what I'm talking about. And there's double lines on either side of the road. So there was no reason for that to happen. The road marking itself is telling you not to do that. And that person has done that. That's what I'm talking about. What is the point? What is the point? And you know what? We're just a few kilometers out of Marondera. So if you're going to Marondera or if you're going to Harare, you're less than 100 kilometers. And then moda kuti tese tirege kusvika kwatiri kuenda nenyaya yekupengereka kwakadara. Guys, kana ngatitaurirane chokwadi. Zvimwe zvinhu zviri kuitika parodhi ka zvatiri kuona ka hazvizi kuti because rodhi yakashata. Tese tinoziva kuti rodhi yakashata, but nesuwo behavior yedu yakashata sekunze kwemusha. Munokuziva kunze kwemusha here? Kushata sekunze kwemusha ndo chokwadi. So ngatiregei kuramba takablame road. Hey, the roads are terrible. Hey, the roads are inadequate. Our behavior, folks, our behaviors on the road is completely inadequate, out of bounds. I just showed you the nastiness and recklessness of somebody overtaking. You're maybe 15 kilometers out of Marondera and maybe 60 k's out of Harare. What's the hurry? It's a Sunday. And of course, I don't know what your business is, why you are rushing. But to be honest, if we would ask some of these motorists, why did you do that when they are involved in an accident, if they are still alive at all? Why did you do that? Just the thrill of driving a car and trying to prove that you can overtake, whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about roads and say to each one of us, let's be the change we want to see. If you want to see safer roads, then behave safely on the road. Don't expect somebody to behave well for you to get out of the road. There's something that fell there. It must have been a big truck. Don't expect the other person to be courteous to you when you're acting a fool. Right, Papa?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not going to be trying to blame the roads only. I'm saying we and the roads need to change our behaviors. We need to take ownership and responsibility of our own mess. And that mess is driving unsafely on the roads. I don't know what the driving schools are teaching, but I think they should be emphasizing safety. Safety not only for you, but the other motorists that you are sharing the road with. So guys, let's talk with our families. Let's talk with our own heads. That we do something that will make us safe and the other people that are on the road safe. In the meantime, I am praying to the Almighty that we get to Harare safely and that everybody who is on the road with us is safe. Take care of you and yours, and we'll see you on the next video. And somebody's peeing. Okay, that's another story for another day. Littering and peeing everywhere. But I gotta say, let me be honest, I also do use the natural toilets because the the bathrooms are few and far between. But that's a conversation for another day. That conversation for today is about road safety. See you soon. Bye. He thinks this guy on our right is going straight. On the left. And he wants to cut. Lane. It's a turning lane. Let's see. Is he going straight?
No, he's coming straight.
Yep. He was in the and there's something going on behind there, the honking. Yes. Because he went into the turning lane. I couldn't flip my car. Just to cut off the traffic. Just like I was saying, stupidity knows no bounds, knows no class, no gender, no age, or economic status. Rich, poor, bad people, good people. As long as you behave stupidly, it's still stupid on the road. The conversation about bad behavior on the road is so big and extensive. We're also talking about these buses that stop where they're not supposed to stop. Like the bus on the left here. It is stopping right in the middle of town where there's barriers on the left side where we are driving. So we get squeezed almost to the right side where there's oncoming traffic because this dude decided to stop where there's barriers. Papa, just repeat what you just said. We invite hardships.
Yeah, I was saying that I think the way we drive, until a lot of people complain, then the police will bring in stringent rules so that we drive properly. It's as if we're inviting hardships. We don't want to behave properly so that our lives are easier and more, like enjoyable.
Yeah.
Instead, we just do things that will give us nothing but hardships.
Yeah. We invite trouble. We invite more stringent control because we are out of control. What the? What? Come on, guys. Let's do better.
And that's why sometimes people say we deserve what we get.
Yes.
Because of how we behave.
Just like what we say about food. You are what you eat, right?
Exactly.
You get what you deserve on the roads. Not everybody, but some of us. Yeah? Because we don't behave right, good people, let's admit. We do not behave right. So then we get all those stringent controls and we don't like them. But we forget that some of these things, we impose them on ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we look the other way and blame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saga, ingati behave pama roads, please.